Absolutely gorgeous backcountry site. I am currently on day 5 of a 6-day backpacking trip, and over the course of this trip I just got to thinking about some of my favorite pieces of gear that I carry with me that just have little quirks that I absolutely hate, but I still continue to carry that gear. Started out, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite pieces of gear, and it's a piece of gear that I've raved about over the last couple months. That's the Flex Tail Tiny Pump. I absolutely love this little thing. I've been using it every night on this backpacking trip. I had to bring my tent, a little portable pump to pump up my air pads. It's more convenient than using a pump sack. But the one thing I absolutely hate about the Flex Tail Tiny Pump is I use a Nemo Tensor sleeping pad, and none of the adapters that come with the Flex Tail Tiny Pump actually work with the Nemo Tensor. This one that I've got on here is the closest one, and I just kind of have to hold it in place over the fill valve. It doesn't lock in place. I know it's a really minor thing, but it's just one of those things that irks me. Every other pad that I own, the Tiny Pump clicks onto, and you can just kind of turn it on and walk away. With the Nemo Tensor pad, I gotta hold the Tiny Pump on there. Just kind of irritates me. Next up, I'm gonna talk water filters a little bit, as we've got the gorgeous water source that I've been collecting from almost this entire week. And it's the Katadyn Be Free. Now, I've raved about how much I love the Be Free. I switched off to using a Platypus Quick Draw, mostly because so many people told me they had issues with their Be Free clogging up. And I've never had an issue with my Be Free clogging, but the one thing that I hate about the Be Free is I hate the feel of the bag. I'm always worried about this thing popping and ripping. I've never popped and ripped one. I'm pretty tough on my gear, but it's just one of those things. I don't know, I just don't like the feel of the bag on the Be Free. The bag itself feels really cheap, but it works extremely well. I love the filter, hate the bag. So I'm gonna pick everybody else's brains here too. I was just asking Bo, and his idea is his backpack.
Yeah. Got the 80s, 60. It's good pack. This carries good, just heavy. It's 5 pounds empty. So
yeah.
Getting a new pack.
Bo's a little behind the rest of us, kind of on the ultralight train, but I think the new pack after this trip, I think Bo's kind of decided it's lighter pack time.
I did the lighter pack thing, so
yeah.
I know what I'm sitting at to use my stuff. Just the pack is 5 pounds.
So everybody should buy ultralight backpacks and stay away from these heavy ones, right?
Yeah.
A cool hack that I kind of discovered on this trip is I changed the front pullout on my tarp tent to loss and glow wire. I just wanted a little bit longer than what the tarp tent originally had, and it's just the right diameter that my Dirty Girl gaiters, when you push them on, the little metal toe clip, it's just the right size that it like perfectly latches on and doesn't slide up or down the line here. So great spot to let those hang and air out. Cool little hack I just discovered on this backpacking trip. Nathan, I'm gonna put you on the spot too. Piece of backpacking gear that you carry, but there's a quirk that you absolutely cannot stand.
It will have to be the X-Mid 2P. I love the tent. It's fantastic. It's over there. It's set up nice, well, somewhat nicely today. But even at Coral Creek, because the ground wasn't perfectly flat, I almost threw it into the lake because I couldn't get it set up right and couldn't get it to pitch in a way that I knew would keep the condensation off the mesh on the second wall. So
yeah, there was a couple moments there watching you set up a coral that I thought you might need a little bit of a hug, but
yeah,
you persevered and got through it.
Thankfully, Buddy was like, just go take some time and have something to eat and come back. Okay. But yeah, I love that tent. It's finicky to get.
And it's huge.
It is.
This thing is massive.
Biggest tent on the trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an award we're doing, right?
Yep.
It's huge. We're gonna put Mr. Buddy on the spot as well. Piece of gear that you carry, that you love, but it's got a quirk to it that you cannot stand.
So I got this Garmin InReach Mini that every other trip has been absolute perfect. It works well. My wife loves me having it. This trip it did not work. It has an active subscription. I have the invoice for it and everything. I assumed it was going to be work. I thought I'd have tons of time to send her messages on trail, and I realized on day 2 and I didn't get a response back, it was not working, and it said messages were sending and I was not getting proof they sent and not getting responses. And I hated carrying it. All it was good for is telling the time.
Now with Buddy's issues with the InReach, fortunately myself and Nathan both had InReaches as well, and we've been able to relay messages to Buddy's wife, so she knows that everything's all good. We've got the map share links that everybody's got, but definitely a downer, especially when you're paying those subscription services and things aren't working out. When you pay hard-earned money, you expect those things to work. And now I'm going to turn the question to you. Let me know down in the comment section down below, what is a piece of backpacking gear that you carry that has some quirks that you absolutely cannot stand, but you still keep carrying that piece of gear? And while you're in the process of doing that, check out either of these videos here. I'm sure you guys will enjoy either of those. As always, I am Matty. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.